Hello friends, welcome back. There are hundreds of indicators available for us to use for intraday trading. Out of those, what are the best indicators suited for intraday? After having done good amount of research and practice, I am excited to share the best indicators that I am using for intraday. I'm going to explain with logic using the live chart and the indicators why they are the best. To get a clear idea, do watch this video till the end. The most commonly used indicators are the relative strength index, that is RSI, moving averages, moving average convergence and divergence, that is MACD, super trend, the Bollinger Bands, ADX, Ichimoku, ROC, stochastics, etc. How are these indicators being drawn or being calculated? It is based on the previous period's price values. For example, if you take relative strength index, if you have selected 14 period, what it will do is it will take the previous 14 periods price value, to be precise, the OHLC data of the previous 14 candles from the time frame that you are in, and then calculates the RSI to give you a signal. Similarly, the moving average, the average price is calculated based on the period that you have selected. For example, if you have selected 8 period, it will take previous 8 period price and then gives you a average price. If it is 21 period, it takes the 21 periods price and calculates the average price to arrive at the moving average. So what it means is these indicators give you a signal based on the previous historical price movement, and they ignore the current price action that is happening at the moment. So that is why these are called as lagging indicators. The disadvantages of these lagging indicators is that, of course, they do lag compared to the price action that is happening, and they often give you false signals, and they may not give you a best entry and exit points. I am not saying that these indicators are not good or not to be used. I am simply saying that if we are using these indicators, we need to work with those disadvantages to trade with. Let me illustrate the lagging indicators behavior and how they give the buy and sell signal for the intraday trading, taking an example of RSI and ADX indicators. This is a nifty chart in a 5 minutes time frame. I use the 5 minute as the time frame for all my intraday trading, and I have already added the RSI indicator here. As we know, RSI range is from 0 to 100, and the overbought reason is from 70 to 100. This is overbought reason, and from 30 to 0 is the oversold reason. Whenever RSI value comes down and crosses below the 70 mark, it is the sell signal, and whenever the RSI comes from the oversold reason and crosses 30, it is the buy signal. Let us see now where are the buy and sell signals. Here if you see on the 29th, the oversold reason and RSI is giving a buy signal, and the signal comes here. If you see here, the signal is coming at least 3 candles later. And what happened after signal came? Of course, market went up and the RSI value came down. If it comes down below 30, if you would have exited at this point, probably you may not have made any money because the stop loss would have hit here. And also if you see, it is very difficult to set the target using the RSI. And on 30th, market went up, but there was no signal from the RSI. In fact, RSI stayed most of the time in the overbought region without giving any signal. We can see one sell signal here on 25th. If you look at it here, the sell signal is coming 3 candles later. I have added the ADX indicator to the same chart. As we know, ADX indicator contains 3 lines. One is the ADX line itself, that is in the blue color, and the green line is the plus DMI line, and the red line is the minus DMI line. The buy and signals are when the ADX is greater than 25 and plus DMI is greater than 25, it is the buy signal. Similarly, for sell signal, ADX has to be above 25 and minus DMI has to be above 25 is the sell signal. And I have marked the 25 line here in a yellow dotted line. So let us look at where are the buy and sell signals. The first one is on 24th. If you see here, ADX is above 25 and plus DMI is also above 25. This is a buy signal. So the buy signal is coming here. But if you really look at it, it is quite late. The buy signal should have come here. So we missed this much of price movement for the buy signal. So that is how these indicators are lagging indicators. So here is one sell signal. ADX is above 25 and the minus DMI is also above 25. So where is the sell signal coming? Sell signal is coming here. But whereas if you really look at it, the price has already moved. I would expect the sell signal to come here actually. So this much of the price has already moved. So that is why this is the lagging indicator and it gives the signal quite late. So one more example here is the buy signal. The buy is coming here, but whereas I would expect the buy to come here, this much is the price movement that we lost. And this indicator also gives quite a number of signals and also false signals. Now, what are those leading indicators that give us a better advantage? The leading indicators are the CPR and pivot points and the price action. Price action includes candlestick as well as the chart patterns. Price action is a bigger topic. I will not be able to cover in this video. That is something for the future videos. If you want to know more about the CPR and pivot points, there is a playlist with set of videos for you to watch. The link is given in the description below. Just a quick recap of the CPR and pivot points. These are extremely powerful price-based support and resistance levels, and these levels are fixed and they are available to us in advance. And they work for all time frame, including daily, weekly, and monthly. These are being used by the institutional investors, big players, and the professional traders. You can use them for intraday, swing trading, as well as for the investments. Friends, after having done the study, I have arrived at a set of indicators that are best suited for the intraday trading. The list indicates the CPR and the pivot points that we have discussed. The next one is the price action at the pivot points. Of course, the price action itself is not an indicator, but it is very, very important to observe the price action at the pivot points. Whether there is a rejection at the pivot points or whether there is a breakout at the pivot points. Next one is the initial balance. That is the first 1 hour range of the market. This initial balance is going to give us a prediction of how the rest of the day market is going to behave. Next one is the previous period, that is previous day's range. That is previous day high and previous day low. Normally they are called as PDH and PDL. It is important to know the previous day's range. If today the price is trading within the previous day or out of the previous day's range is very important to know. If the price is trading above the previous day's range, that means there is a price expansion, etc. Next one is the 21 EMA. This is an exponential moving average price for the 21 previous period. This 21 EMA can act as the support or resistance. Also, if the price is staying far away from the 21 EMA, normally the price tend to come back towards the average price. That is how the 21 EMA is going to help us. The last one is the VWAP, volume weighted average price. So how it is going to help us is, this is the average price weighted on in terms of volume. If the price is trading above the VWAP, that means bulls are in control. If the price is trading below the VWAP, that means the bears are in control. This is how all these indicators are going to help us to make a better decision in the intraday trading. This is the set that I am practicing and it is helping me a lot. I am going to show you in live how to use these indicators in a moments from now. The advantages of these best indicators are that they offer you the best entry price with a smaller stop loss, and of course with the predefined target. So having a best entry price with a small stop loss and the set target gives you a better risk reward ratio for each and every trade that you take. Let us now move on to the live charts to understand these indicators. Again, this is the Bank Nifty chart in the 5 minutes time frame. I have already added all the 5 best intraday indicators to this chart. The first one is the CPR and pivot point indicator. As I mentioned, there is a separate video to understand more about this indicator. You can have a look at it. I have already written the Pine script for the CPR and pivot point indicator, and it is already being published in the trading view. You can use it for free. The settings that I use for intraday trading are like this. The CPR for daily, weekly, monthly and yearly are enabled, and all the 3 support and resistances for daily are enabled. The weekly S1, R1, S2, R2 are enabled. Monthly S1, R1 are enabled. The remaining ones I will enable, disable them based on the need. And the different colors I use are the blue ones are the daily CPR, and the daily support, the S1, S2, S3 are in green color. Daily resistances are in red color. All the weekly pivots, including the weekly CPR, are in the purple color. All the monthly pivots, including the monthly CPR, are in the yellow color. The yearly pivot is in the dark yellow color. Let me go ahead and enable the indicator. Now you can see all the pivots. So this is the daily CPR and weekly CPR, and the central pivot is inside the weekly. Central pivot of the monthly is in the weekly CPR. You can see daily support, resistances, etc. Now you can already start seeing where are the real support and resistances and the value area, that is the CPRs of daily, weekly and monthly. So this gives a much better idea of the market. Now let me move on to the range. The previous day high and previous day low. This is a private script I have, and this script gives me a previous day high and previous day low. I just enabled it now. You can see the round dotted line are the previous day high, that is the red, this is the previous day high, and the green one here, it in fact coincides with the central pivot of weekly. This is the previous day low. So if you go back for the previous day high, previous day low, this, the previous day's range is this range. I mean to say, for this day, the previous day's high was this and previous day's low was this. That gives a better idea. Now let me enable VWAP. VWAP is a standard indicator. It is available in any of the charting software. Now you see there is a VWAP line that is coming. Okay. And the next one is the exponential moving average. The setting that I use for exponential moving average is 21 period. And the last one is the initial balance, the first 1 hour of the market. So for example, if you see here, the initial balance, I am using the green color with the star dots. You see here, initial balance, the initial balance here. For example, the initial balance, first 1 hour of the market range is here. Okay. So that is the initial balance. So now you have all the 5 indicators that are clearly visible. Let me now show you the buy and sell signals, how to identify, how to put the stop losses and also the targets. On the 30th of August, market opened above the previous day's range. This is the PDH and this is the PDL, previous day CPR, R1, R2, R3, and we have the weekly CPR. There are multiple long entries here, but one of the best entry could be when the market breaks the weekly CPR here, weekly CPR here, can go long with the target of monthly pivot and the stop loss of weekly central pivot. This is a very small stop loss with a good target being already set. So you can see here, if this is a stop loss and this is a target, the risk reward ratio is 3.92. In fact, if you can continue to trail up to the next pivot here. On 1st of September, if you see, the market opened at the monthly central pivot and took the support of weekly CPR and monthly central pivot and went up. So this is a long entry here with a small stop loss. The target being the previous day high. One of the possible short entries here, if you see here, market came up on the 1st of September and there is a clear rejection here at the previous day high and the weekly pivot. This purple is the weekly pivot. You see the price action there is continuous up and there is a clear rejection with a big red candle. So we can go short here with a stop loss just above the weekly pivot with a target of daily TC. You see the risk reward here. You have a clear target, a small stop loss and a good risk reward. And when the price went here, it is staying far away from the 21 EMA. So there is a high probability that the price move towards 21 EMA is another confirmation to go short. In fact, if you miss the short entry here, you can go short entry here again with a stop loss above the weekly pivot and the same target. If you can even trail the target, you will get a good risk reward ratio here. A quick word on the VWAP indicator. So when the price is staying above the VWAP indicator here, for example, the bulls are in control. When there is a rejection and when it comes below the VWAP, the bears are in control, pushing it towards the BC of the daily CPR. So that is how the VWAP is going to help us to make decisions. If you see on the 2nd of September, Bank Nifty price opened here and started coming down, stayed below the VWAP. Again, VWAP acted as the resistance, then came back, but the price was taking a support at daily CPR. So once this rejection happened here, you see this candle and one can go long with a target of initial balance high. Friends, like this, we can identify the proper entry points which are at the pivots with a small stop loss and a good risk reward. So what is important here is we need to identify those pivot points along with the price action that gets developed at those pivot points. For example, here I explained there is a clear price action of daily CPR acting as a support. Here also you see there is a price action of rejection. Here also you see the PDH, there is a price rejection, and weekly pivot there is a price rejection. So you need to identify the clear support and resistances along with the price action, which will help us to take a trade with a small stop loss with a clear target. So this is how these indicators, the CPR and pivot point indicators and 21 EMA, previous day's range, PDH, PDL, initial balance, along with the VWAP helps a lot to make a decision to go long or short. So this is how these are the leading indicators giving the signal right at the pivot points along with the price action to go long or short with the good risk reward. Friends, a quick summary is that for intraday trading, it is better to use the leading indicators such as CPR and pivot points along with the price action. The advantages of using them are the best price entry with a smaller stop loss, having a proper target being set. This gives us the better risk reward for the trades that we take. Of course, these things needs a good amount of practice to get a hang of it. Friends, you might be using an indicator that works for you and giving you the good result. My idea here is to share what I am practicing, hoping that something is useful to you. I hope you learned something out of this video. Do support me by pressing the like button. Thank you for your time. See you soon. Have a profitable trading.